Und nun damit einen wunderschönen guten Abend, liebe Leute. Ich hoffe, ihr habt einen angenehmen Abend und Sonntag Mittag gehabt und morgen, je nachdem, wann ihr aufgestanden seid. Wir spielen Vampyr, Le Vampyr. Nun denn, wir wurden von der Lady Ashbury eingeladen, unser Gespräch zu führen. Also ich schätze mal, wäre das im Game unser erstes Date. Und in Real Life. Oh, herrlich. So. Gut, dass wir den Charakter steuern müssen und nicht selbst reden müssen. Dass wenn man da steht und einfach nur schweigen. Passt. So. Erst einmal. Ich habe das ganze Bett voll gekrümmelt, das wollen wir mal erstmal versuchen, ein bisschen frei zu räumen. Oder was heißt frei zu räumen? Das ist einfach nur als eine Salzkörner drauf. So, jetzt ist mal ein bisschen selber perfekt. Ja. Ja. Wie sieht der neueste Ripper von Germany, genau. Ne, von London. Denn wir haben uns komplett aufgelevelt. Sehr hoch aufgelevelt. Und wir machen für jetzt jeden einzelnen One-Shot vielleicht außer die gewissenhaften Werwölfe. Oh, da ist noch ein Mülleimer, okay. Vielleicht gibt es eine neue Auffrischung von Gegnern. Falls jetzt nachdem wir alle ausgestattet haben, weil noch gespawnt sind. Okay, es lädt, also könnte es sein, dass wir danach gespawnt sind. Wir sehen das gleich. So, wenn der Lädbildschirm endlich mal vorbei ist. Nö. Okay, ab zum Date. Ja. Unsere Augen sehen auch wieder ein bisschen schwer, nein, nicht tödlich, aber ein bisschen ungesund aus. Ja. Weißt du, was ein Fun Fact ist? Ich kann Modern Warfare nicht mehr spielen, ne? Warum auch immer. Ist so ein Bug, schätze mal. Boah, warum ist das so hell, ey? Wie ein Flashback.
Reed, welcome. How are you?
As good as one can be, considering the circumstances.
Yes. Death and affliction seem prevailing themes of late. Please, come in. We have much to discuss.
I hope I haven't disturbed you.
Not at all. Actually, I was counting on you visiting me tonight.
How strong is this painting? Beautiful, melancholic, yet with a haunting dignity.
Indeed. A long time ago, a friend asked me to paint this for him. But I kept it in the end.
I did not know you were a painter, my lady.
There are many things you do not know about me, young Ekon.
Nennen Sie mich nicht so, Thomas! Okay.
Please, call me Jonathan.
Please excuse my behavior, Jonathan. I tend to tease my friends when uneasy.
What is bothering you, my lady? Your letter was quite alarming.
We will talk about this in a few minutes. For now, I would like you to tell me about yourself. How have you been since we last met, my friend?
Ja.
I came to the conclusion that my maker, whoever he might be, must be a powerful vampire. Certainly extremely old.
How have you reached this conclusion?
He is the only immortal I've seen appear in an ethereal form. His voice, his words seemed ancient. It was disturbing.
I am afraid you are right. The simple fact that your blood made Mary such a strong echo proves that you must be of ancient lineage.
I felt this power radiating like an aura every time he appeared.
Most ancestral vampires of England were killed by the Guard of Prewen half a century ago. I wonder who your maker could be.
You have no idea who he could be?
Some of the ancient ones fled England. Some may still be in hiding. All I know is you, my friend, are a pawn in some secret and obscure game of chess.
That's harsh.
My sister Mary. She was made a vampire in the same way I was. She was the one killing all those people everywhere I went.
Vengeance is a powerful force for those betrayed. Made vampire through careless error. Victims by surprise.
Und dann?
I swear I did not intend that. If only I had known then how vampires are created.
That is the scientist speaking. In truth, most of us do not know how it really works. Personally, I make sure my prey will not return to haunt me.
What do you mean?
I am merciless.
Whoops.
I only feed on the dying, and I make sure they are dead before leaving their remains.
In the end, she implored me to put an end to her misery. But still, I felt I had taken her life twice.
I am so sorry for my accidental cruelty. Had I known your dear Mary was still alive, I would never have sent you to pray for her soul in that church.
There is no need to apologize, my lady. Your words have been most helpful in these difficult times.
Thank you, my friend.
Ich kann langsam sagen, keine Flippenmusik mehr hören. Erst in Ghost of Tsushima und jetzt hier durchgehen bei entspannter, wohliger
I think I should ask the questions, your ladyship.
Auren, wie auch immer.
After all, it was you who invited me to settle this most urgent of matters.
Fair enough, Jonathan. The situation is critical. We do not have the luxury for etiquette.
Please do not misunderstand me. I would be delighted to discuss mundane matters and idle trivialities.
If we survive the dark nights to come, we shall have all the time in the world to speak, you and I. For now, please follow me, Jonathan.
Ja, ja, wir werden auch ein sehr langes Gespräch führen.
I must say, your house is exquisite.
One of the advantages of living forever is having the time to be selective with one's furnishings. I took the liberty of having tea served.
You can still drink tea.
Can't keep it down, but I do so enjoy the aroma. Let us toast to make-believe. And of course to your health, Jonathan.
Glaube ich,
to yours,
sie ist gefühlt, wenn man einen Vampir heilt, der uralt ist, so keine Ahnung, mehrere hundert Jahre, wenn man ihn heilt und der zurück zum Menschen geht, glaube ich, dass sein Körper irre schnell verfällt und zu Staub theoretisch geht.
Call me Elizabeth.
So, my lady, why truly did you invite me here?
I've been asked to deliver an official invitation to meet the Ascalon Club.
Why use you to contact me?
Because they know we are close. The Ascalon Club has many spies. Their main occupation is gathering information and then deciding how to
Naja, wir haben schon sehr viel umgebracht. Ich weiß nicht, wo die ganzen Biode sind.
Have they threatened you in any way?
Not at all. Their message surprised me at first. But it is only logical, considering the critical situation in London.
Why not ask for your help? Since you are obviously a powerful and influential immortal yourself.
You have to understand that I am invisible to the eyes of Ascalon, for I am a woman. That suits me well, as long as they leave me alone.
Who are they? Really?
They are the embodiment of vampire law in Britain. Some say they influence the destiny of the Empire. Some believe they merely protect it.
How many are they?
Only a small number of powerful and deceitful immortals. All of them entangled in a sticky web of shadow cabinets, influencing trade.
Will they fight the guard of Priwen?
I doubt it. Fergal was Lord Redgrave's executioner forever and a day. By defeating that beast, you deprived them of a powerful weapon.
Wir der Ripper wahrscheinlich am Ende des Tages.
Should I trust them?
Of course not. Do not misunderstand me. They can be very useful, but I believe their long-term goals differ from yours.
Why meet them then?
Because nothing truly important can be achieved in this city without their consent. They could be powerful allies in this current situation.
Should I lie to them?
We all lie, Jonathan. It falls to you to choose your behavior. The most important rule is to show them due respect.
They have done nothing but impede my investigation since I became known to them. Why would they want to see me now?
I guess they now see you as Ascalon material. They must have found out what happened to your sister. Proof of the potent blood flowing through your veins.
I'm not sure I can accept their invitation. I have seen their handiwork. How Fergal the Beast imposed the club's law.
You have no choice, Jonathan. Even I would not openly defy Lord Redgrave, the chairman of the Ascalon Club.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave? Who is he?
Lord Redgrave is the founder and chairman of the Ascalon Club. Most mortals know him as the Earl of Bristol. He is rich and extremely influential.
Have you met him?
Only on rare occasions, for he never goes outside the club. And women are not awarded membership, even immortals.
How old is he? How long has he been a vampire?
Lord Redgrave claims to be the progeny of William Marshall, the most valiant knight who ever lived. If that is true, he could be very old.
How powerful is his reach?
The Ascalon Club may be the most influential secret society in England. Not all its members are immortals, but they are all very powerful.
Ja, auch
They are not
sehr
all
wichtig, oder?
immortals. How is that?
The club is mainly comprised of political figures who seek the safety and expansion of the Empire. The most loyal are awarded immortality.
Any familiar or famous names?
As the richest, most relentless British tycoon, Aloysius Dawson is considered ideal Ascalon material and has been watched for years.
If you are convinced I must meet him, I will heed your advice.
Thank you, Jonathan. I understand your reluctance to brush shoulders with London's vampire elite. But we have no choice.
Is the situation that critical?
Yes. The Guard of Priwen has called for a second great hunt of our kind. And they will stop at nothing to eliminate us.
What is a great hunt?
The first great hunt was launched about 75 years ago. In just a few nights, the Guard of Priwen located and destroyed most of the old British vampires.
Why start a second one?
Priwen has always seen us immortals as a threat to mankind. My guess is they suspect one or more of us as the cause of the epidemic.
How did you survive the first hunt?
I fled, Jonathan. Like most vampires who survived that slaughter. And I secretly came back when I was sure they had lost my trail.
Will the Guard of Priwen and the Ascalon Club fight each other?
I doubt it. If Priwen really launched a great hunt, I think most of the Ekons I know would flee the country to escape the bloodbath.
I think I saw them kill an Ekon on the way to your house.
Hallo Meyerby.
They
Herzlich
seem to have
willkommen
a
zum Stream.
list with names.
To launch another great hunt, they must have collected intelligence on vampire identities and whereabouts. They are a resourceful lot.
Halleluja. Mir geht's ausgesprochen gut.
Should we fight back? I will not be hunted down like
Wie
an
geht es
animal
dir?
again.
I admire your courage, Jonathan. But the best way to fight them is to put an end to the epidemic. This is the only way to clear the air.
You should flee then. Leave London, the country even. I have seen the Guard in action. They are merciless.
Your concern warms my heart, Jonathan. But fear not. If the situation gets too dangerous, I shall retreat to my secret Scottish manor. I could hide you in my luggage, if you wish.
Thank you for the offer. I shall keep it in mind, but
Ja, und die sind quasi komplett schon verliebt an sich.
there is a question I must ask you. Could Lord Redgrave be my maker?
I doubt it. If Lord Redgrave had made you his progeny, he would
Beim
not
ersten Mal
have been
fand ich
so
diese
surprised when you
Beziehung zwischen den beiden schön. Jetzt beim zweiten Mal cringe ich gerade ein bisschen, weil die für mich ein bisschen zu nah sind und allgemein für den Spieler ist es ein bisschen zu nah, finde ich. Zu krass romantisch in diesem Moment. Das bringt das weg von quasi von dem Ripper, von den Bösen in uns quasi als Vampir.
How can I save London?
The epidemic is the priority. You must find its origin and put an end to it. This is the best way to solve the crisis.
Meine Theorie ist, unser Erschaffer hat ja gesagt, wir sind deren Streiter und er hat irgendwas gesagt, die Königin der Nacht oder wer auch immer ist erwacht. Also ich schätze mal, eine Königsvampirin ist erwacht und wir sind deren Streiter. Und wir werden als gegen die Königin Vampirin kämpfen und sie ist der Urheber der Vampire. Meine Theorie dazu. Und weiter ich spiele so Feuer, gucke ich mir dann kein Video an, wie das ungefähr ist oder war.
Will I ever discover the identity?
Wer das unser allgemein mit Schöpfer bla bla bla. Weil ich spiele einfach, das Spiel ist zu geil, um jetzt nicht zu spoilern zu lassen.
But most of those fled England long ago.
Please forgive my bluntness, but I have to ask. Was it you? Did you make me?
Oh, Jonathan. I know you shall always have a gnawing doubt about who made you an immortal. But I swear, I had nothing to do with it.
You have no idea at all. You seem to know so many things about the secrets of the vampire underworld.
Even if I had my suspicions, I would not dare give you a name so soon. All I can say is this. I will make inquiries and keep you informed.
One day soon, I will have to find the answer to this mystery.
And I shall help you in your research, I promise. For now, you must go to the Ascalon Club and play their game.
Will I see you again at the Pembroke
Und leider, ich wünschte, wir könnten ihn umbringen, aber das dauert noch ein bisschen.
I shall conduct inquiries alone, and we can then share our discoveries.
Will you not visit Pembroke again?
No. I must remain discreet and avoid attracting attention to Pembroke Hospital for the time being.
But how would...
Oh. In Ordnung, die müssen noch geheilt werden. Der Rest ist tot. Okay.
Sustain yourself.
I shall not, Jonathan. Fear not. I'm used to it.
When will we meet again?
As soon as you meet Lord Redgrave, I suppose. Fear not, my dear. I shall only be a heart's beat away.
I want to thank you for all your support and your help, my lady.
Could you do me a last great favor and call me Elizabeth?
I should be honored, my lady.
Then it is settled. Finally, some good news in these dark hours.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice. I had best prepare myself to meet this Lord Redgrave now.
Der ist so unsicher. Ehrlich.
To meet the Earl of Bristol in the flesh, so to speak.
Something tells me you're not very keen on the man.
Don't get me wrong. The gentlemen of the
Du,
Ascalon Club are on,
ist alles in Ordnung.
but their attitude and opinions are
Aber danke, dass du Bescheid sagst. Das freut mich.
As long as they deny access to female applicants, I will leave them to their antediluvian considerations as to the natural order of things. Jonathan, promise me you'll be careful.
Of course. But why the fear in your voice?
Look at me, Jonathan.
I am.
I mean, really look at me, young Ekon.
Damn, er hat verdammt große Hände.
We may be deceptive by nature, but this heart of mine has always told the truth.
Elizabeth.
Also eigentlich zu spielen ist relativ geil, aber jetzt im Stream cringe ich gerade ein bisschen wegen einer Romanze in-game, wo es eigentlich gut gespielt ist. Weil wir haben voll die Dämonenaugen. Jetzt kann das Gemetzel beginnen. Obwohl, gar nicht wahr. Noch nicht. Wir müssen erstmal zu ihr wieder rein und alles auslooten. Wir brauchen schließlich die Materialien. Ja. Ja, Spotify kann ich nicht nutzen, perfekt. So, nicht anders. Wäre auch schön gewesen.
It's locked.
Klar.
Hello again, Jonathan.
Sorry to disturb you.
Of course, my dear.
Concerning your investigation.
Yes?
Are you truly seeking to identify my maker?
I cannot promise you anything, but yes. I am conducting some research of my own.
Do you think we shall ever see better days? Or at least better nights?
I know not, Jonathan. I have seen some horrid days in my long lifetime. Experience has taught me that one cannot outrun the fates.
When all of this is over, the war and the epidemic, we could leave the city for a while. Travel around Europe, you and I.
Traveling is always so complicated for us poor creatures of the night. But yes, I would be glad to travel the world with you, my dear.
Yikes. Let's go.
One day, Lady Asbro.
One of
Waifu.
them, perhaps. I have had so many lives.
Was? Mal komprende?
Eternity may
Nee.
not be enough to relate them all.
Irgendwie confess? Nee. Waifu complete.
Do you know if the epidemic has affected many people in the West End?
I confess I've been more concerned by events in the East End. The wealthy have more efficient ways of dealing with infection.
But this is no common epidemic.
That is true. I must tell my daughter to stay at home for a few days. But the girl is stubborn and fiercely independent. Much like her mother.
Goodbye.
Sie hat Kinder. Wurst. Es steht mal, auf dem Bild ist theoretisch ihr Ehemann, der gestorben ist. Würde ich mal schätzen. Zumindest eine Erklärung. Sonst ist hier nichts. Okay. Dann wollen wir mal. Dann begibt sich mal der Ripper auf den Weg zum Ascalon Club. Jetzt sind wir heute ein höheres Level als auf meinem ersten Account. Den ersten Account kann ich jetzt eigentlich löschen. Was geil wäre, könnte ich einfach ganz viele, könnte ich nicht, die Leute nicht nur töten, sondern auch zu Vampiren machen. Also die EP einstreichen, Vampiren machen und irgendwann nochmal töten. Oder einfach quasi meinen eigenen Vampir-Clan errichten. Ist hier so ein Vampir-Multiplayer? Ist ja ähnlich so meins, aber nicht bei Vampyr quasi, sondern irgendein anderes Vampirspiel. Da gibt es, glaube ich, so ein Battle Royale, glaube ich, in die Richtung. Was ich halt persönlich gesagt bescheuert finde, aber gut. Leute spielen das halt. Und dann gibt es halt Gewehre, Shotguns und den restlichen Scheiß.
So, time to visit the Ascalon Club.
Den echt schönen Wagen an sich, ne? Dann lädt es mal schön. Lad eifrig weiter, wenn du weiter so lädst. Kriegst du auch schon. Gut, da kommen wir nicht durch. Das haben wir schon durchsucht, also hat diese Blutspur nichts zu bedeuten. Lade über Ladebildschirm, herrlich. So nicht anders. Das ist mein Geräusch, das ist eine Massage, ey. Also entweder das massiere oder massiert werde. Das könnte ich mal echt viel gebrauchen. Auch nicht die, ey.
That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners.
Natürlich nicht. Und ich erst recht nicht. Und ich erst recht nicht. Der Ripper ist hier und er tötet jeden Einzelnen. Keine Gnade. Keine Gnade. Ob Frauen, Kinder, Mann oder Fisch. Wir schlachten alles ab. Obwohl, ja komm, Tiere gehen auch. So ein Vampyrpferd, Alter, voll geil. Das hätte ich gerne als Haustier, wenn ich mal ein Vampir wäre. Okay. Lol. Achso, okay. Ich hab schon gewundert, warum ich so wenig nur abgezogen dafür bekommen habe. Aufgeschlossen. Sonst gibt es hier nichts. Nope. Übrigens, Leute, es gibt eine neue Abstimmung über meine Community. Ich habe God of War hinzugefügt, also wer es sich anders überlegen will, könnt ihr noch für God of War stimmen. Und was gibt's denn Schönes heute? Da zu schreien, ey. Okay, können wir das Tor jetzt hier aufschließen? Die Tür wurde aufgeschlossen. Das ist eine der schönsten Nachrichten in diesem Game. Für mich zumindest.
I cannot enter.
Naja, Unterschlupf wo denn? Ah, sieh an. Da komme ich nicht rein.
The Ascalon Club. The heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected.
Wir können uns jetzt erstmal mit ihm treffen und danach alles erkunden. Das wird spaßig. Komm, wir waren zuvor mal nett und zuvorkommt. Mal sehen, was wir jetzt. Ich werde jetzt mal richtig unhöflich sein. Richtig hardcore unhöflich.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club. then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
Modisch.
Welcome to the Ascot.
Arthur Pemplin Turm.
There has been quite a battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Sonst noch irgendwas hier, was wir mitgehen können, lassen können? Steht des Ascalon Clubs. Gegründet 1837. Da wollen wir nicht hin. Gut dadurch. Abgeschlossen. Karten haben die gespielt, jetzt nicht mehr, da das Geld weg ist. Und nein, wir waren es ganz bestimmt nicht. Nein, never, ever. Okay. Bevor wir jetzt darüber gehen, möchte ich erst auf der anderen Seite mal nachgucken, ob da noch was ist, was sich lohnt. Ne, da waren wir. Mein Fehler. Ich entschuldige mich. Das haben wir schon. Okay. Auf geht's.
Good evening.
Upsala.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
Ja, wie gesagt, unfreundlich.
She has proved to be helpful on many occasions.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Wurdest du freundlich? Warum ich?
Why do you suddenly need me?
The Ascalon Club only recruits the best, and you definitely fit the bill. Your scientific and medical reputation alone would qualify you as a candidate.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End. Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed. But first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Mein Job, am echt
I
unhöflich
also
einfach.
wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
It's of no concern of yours.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon.
Perfekt. Einfach perfekt. Geht gleich weiter, Leute. Moment. So.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
Na dann. Welt muss man trotzen. Nein.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
Am Ende ist der Ritter unser Macher.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
Wäre krass, wenn man das Spiel entscheidet, könnte man, wenn man sich entscheidet,
Nothing fancy nor
nicht
dangerous.
beizutreten.
It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall. Speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Not.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Okay. Mit dem können wir nicht reden, also nur mit dem und ich glaube jetzt den hier. Ja, okay.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago. Well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
You are spying on me?
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Vulcan, all muscles and instincts. Quite a rare breed. Ferocious but territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
So.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied scowls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Scowls.
I have met peaceful and wise Scowls. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Scowls are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Some horned vampire revealing himself
Stufe erhöht, sehr schön.
around the city. What is this new malevolence?
How's your investigation?
I have a few...
All right.
You made me swear on the blood of William Marshall during my initiation ceremony. Why was that?
William Marshall was the most glorious knight who ever lived. He served 5 kings, and was a living example of probity for all. And he was my maker.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
Godspeed, Dr. Reed.
Oh,
We are
habe ich jetzt.
counting on you.
Upsala.
Yes, Lance Sparrow.
What can you tell me about the Great Hunt?
It's a major concern, and I'm convinced we'll only get a satisfactory conclusion by putting an end to the epidemic.
I have already met Geoffrey McCullum. I'm certain he will persist until he has killed every last vampire.
The Guard's current successful recruitment campaign is driven by the ravenous behavior of the Skulls.
I see. So without the epidemic creating Skulls, the Guard could not convince anybody of our presence.
Exactly. Once we have put the epidemic behind us, we need only wait until the Guard grows old and weak. Time will once again become our ally.
What about the risk of a full-scale attack here? Jeffrey McCullum is a daring leader.
That is exactly why so many of our number have left the country until things improve. But not me. I founded this club. I'll die defending it.
Mhm. Ah, yeah. Okay.
You made me swear on... William Marshall was a vampire. Is this some sort of joke? Wait. Could he be my maker?
That would be joyful news. For it would mean he still walks among us. But alas, the great knight has left this world for good.
Why is his blood so sacred to the Ascalon Club?
He was simply the greatest defender of the realm we have ever known. I fought by his side at the Battle of Preston, and he made me his progeny following the fight.
May I ask you about the mortal who attended my initiation? Mr. Aloysius Dawson.
A member of the club does not normally ask questions about other members. We trust each other mutually.
So he really is a member, then?
Indeed. Only the most eminent members are allowed to attend such ceremonies. Even if I admit some of us fled during the first hours of the Great Hunt.
But Mr. Dawson is mortal. Are you not afraid he might reveal who you are? Especially to your enemies.
Aloysius Dawson is a man of his word, as are all of us. This is the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. We do not grant access to the unworthy.
Goodbye.
Godspeed, Dr.
Alterchen, du bist dran.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece, figuratively?
I feel perfectly fine. Do I have cause for concern?
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret, shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
No shit, Sherlock.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
In der Tat.
What can you tell me?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
Hoppla.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson. the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
Ja, du stehst vor dem Bösen, im wahrsten Sinne des Wortes, zumindest wenn ich die hier genannt habe vom Game.
What do you know about the Guard of Prewin?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
Complete isolation has proven effective throughout history, but the death toll has always been a high one.
I am glad you understand the concept of necessary sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now. Welcome to the Ascalon.
Okay, mit anderen kann ich nicht reden. Dann wollen wir mal weiter. Jetzt einfach ein bisschen anarchistisch und einfach jeden einfach komplett zerreißen wirft, also jeden Menschen. Ich meine, die Michael hätte einfach jeden anzugreifen. Dann kommt die Vampyr raus im Club und wollen uns angreifen und wir vernichten einfach jeden Einzelnen. Puh. Aber so bescheuert. Das braucht kein Mensch. Wir brauchen Verbündete, Kontakte und Verbindungen im Leben, um später der Herrscher von London zu werden. Und im Untergrund der Launde natürlich. Im Schatten. Der Herrscher der Unterwelt quasi. Lol, schon 21:30 Uhr. Puh.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire. Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town.
Sicher?
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young echoes. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte.
Na, schade. Ich hätte sie instant
What do you
geschlachtet.
think about this part?
Da springt der Reaper Psychopath aus mir.
It feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich?
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
Touché.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night, since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Ja, wir können ab 18.
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
Don't tell my mother. Das ist so
What exactly
köstlich.
has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously. And the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Yes, you should. I killed my own sister because of the hunger. There comes a time when a mortal is only seen as blood by a vampire. Whatever the bonds between them.
You can't be Wait. Good one, Dr. Reed. You almost got me.
Glad you found it amusing. But do keep my warning in mind.
I will, Dr. Reed. Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate it.
Puh, das schon wird was
What do you want to
dann
know?
wird uns schon was für etwas Falsches entschieden.
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion. But I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so,
Oh, also du hast doch nicht verheiratet. Also sie hat sie wirklich nur
how was
adoptiert.
it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Why do you still hope to become a vampire in spite of your mother's refusal?
It's the immortal aspect of vampires that interests me. The world won't improve unless women take charge. I'm
Sagen wir so, ich wäre
convinced
theoretisch ein idealer Vampir,
Clever woman with a good
weil ich
education
sowieso
and a brilliant
sehr
But have you thought about the price
emotionale
of
Probleme hatte oder
the
habe.
loneliness?
Ich hätte kein Problem, wenn meine Verwandten sterben.
Is it not true of every
Ich habe schon gelernt, wenn ich Probleme habe, dann gehst du weiter. Fängst von vorne an oder lebst weiter und weiter, machst einfach weiter. Es gibt keinen Grund aufzuhören.
Your mother has refused to turn you into a vampire. Tell me more about it.
Each time we argue, Mother expresses the same fear. She wants me to remain alive and full of joy, rather than become melancholy and immortal. She claims you can't have one without the other. It's pure selfishness.
Nicht unbedingt. Aber man muss auch so sagen, jeder Mensch ist individuell, ne?
It's your mother's choice.
Was mich interessiert, was nach dem Tod kommt. Nicht was im Leben passiert. Das ist schon relativ klar, was im Leben passiert.
I love my mother and have accepted everything from her. Even that she named me Charlotte.
Sagen wir so, was im Leben passiert, ist regulär. Es ist nichts Unreguläres oder nichts Übernatürliches im Leben meistens. Das gibt es ja nicht. Ich will wissen, was nach dem Leben passiert. Nach dem Tod. Dann kann was Übernatürliches da sein.
Your mother has walked this earth for much longer than you or I. She is wise, and we should not ignore her advice when we disagree with it.
But why shouldn't I be allowed to forge my own experience? There can't be only one righteous way to deal with eternity.
Tell me, Charlotte, how do you plan to achieve eternal life, since you've obviously given it a lot of thought?
I won't give up. You have no idea how determined I am, sir. I may contract a deadly disease. I may throw myself under a carriage, just to be saved by her sweet kiss.
That's a disturbing answer, young lady. And the worst part of it is, I know you speak the truth.
There are less dangerous ways, Doctor. Instead of throwing myself under a horse like Emily Davison, I could just throw myself into your arms.
Ich will Ja sagen, Alter. Aber naja.
Be careful what you wish for, young lady. I could gaze at you right now and then take you to a shady corner and have my way with you. And leave your carcass to the rats.
You wouldn't dare. My mother would know. She'd never forgive you.
How could she suspect me? Do you know how many vampires are lurking in the city tonight as we speak? Vampires with a worse sense of humor.
Also so hätte ich es jetzt nicht gesagt.
Oh my God. For one second I thought you actually... Excellent, Dr. Reed. Very convincing.
Ich bin verwirrt. Meint ihr jetzt gerade ernsthaft oder what the fuck? Also ich würde jetzt verwandeln, keine Frage.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district.
Ich denke nicht nach, ich tue Dinge. Quasi wie der Joker, er sagt ja auch so, I don't think about it, I just do things.
awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a big house near the park in the eastern part of this neighborhood.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Schauen wir uns mal weiter um. Hier ist wohl nichts, okay. Kann man das aufschließen? Nee, okay, das ist schon geöffnet worden, okay. Dann ist es sogar wichtig. Nee, der Mühe haben wir schon offen, okay. Was ist denn heute ein Stuhl?
Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
Turn around, sir. Crush the leech, boys! I'll take it.
I take him, ja, sehr klasse. Gut, gehen wir jetzt zurück zu den Bürgern.
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
I may have a...
Yes, sir. Wirst du haben. Sehr schön. Upsala. Weißt du was? Bevor wir wir gucken ganz kurz nach wobei er ist erschöpft, den können wir dann heilen.
Good evening, Doc.
Do you need...
You...
Doc...
I can't...
Gut. Wir machen das ganz kurz mit der, wir suchen das Haus von ihr, suchen sie und danach gehen wir, beenden wir den Stream. Wo muss ich denn längst um dahin zu kommen, wo die ist? Würde mich mal interessieren. Können wir plündern? So.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Jonathan, is that you? I did not know you were back in London. Oh, my dear Johnny. I'm so sorry for your loss. Mary was such a sweetheart.
Thank you, Venus. May I come in?
I was going to bed, actually.
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan.
Lass mich rein.
Sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
Oh, wir könnten sie trinken.
It's a pleasure to see.
So you returned from the war in one piece too. Thank God. My Clarence is back home too.
How is the old rascal?
Probably outside, chasing ghosts and chimeras. Clarence has changed a lot since he returned from the war, you know.
Ich schätze mal, es ist keine alte Liebe.
How have you been since the last time we met? How long has it been? 3 years now?
I've done my
Und die Augen, ne? Und keiner sagt so, ja, deine Augen sehen ein bisschen schlimm aus.
You have no idea what it was like to wait for months without knowing if I'd still be a wife or a widow.
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved from the worst of the bombings, from what I've seen.
Yes, and it's also true about the epidemic. The flu has killed here too, of course, but not on such a large scale as in other parts of town.
Have you noticed anything peculiar about the neighborhood recently?
You mean except for your return to town? No. Oh, and again, Jonathan, please accept my condolences for your mother and your sister. Such a tragedy.
Thank you, Venus. It was so sudden, and I've been so busy, I haven't spoken to anyone about it.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral, but you know.
Besser wär's nicht gewesen.
And what with the epidemic in the streets?
There's no need to apologize, my dear. It's normal, considering the circumstances.
No, it's not. I am sure that Clarence has not even thought to present you his condolences. He is too busy with his penny dreadful stories.
Why is my return so surprising?
It's more an unexpected happy end than a surprise. You and Clarence, back from the war. You have no idea how hard it's been for me.
Und für sie?
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
The McPhersons. I heard they locked themselves in their own house.
They could just be afraid of getting sick.
Perhaps you're right. But if I were you, I'd pay them a visit. A big house, reachable through a courtyard, to the north of the railway bridge.
Gut. Und nein, wir trinken sie noch nicht. Was wir erstmal machen ist theoretisch Pläne und dann würden wir auch jetzt erstmal den Stream hier beenden an dieser Stelle. Ich muss mich noch frisch machen für den nächsten Tag. Weil ich morgens sehr früh aufstehe, habe ich keine Lust, mich das dann frisch zu machen, aber ich lieber am Tag zuvor. Und dann. Ah, da war auch noch was. Gut. War auch raus, okay.
It's locked, all right.
Nun denn. Kommen wir denn hier hin?
No invitation is needed to enter this building. That can't be a good sign. No sign of a struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew the killer and let him in.
Charlotte? Was für ein Killer?
Emily wanted to become a vampire.
Oh.
Something must have gone wrong. Someone is responsible for this mess. But who?
Also ist Emily tot. Cool, da hat das Spiel uns einfach gespoilert. Interessant. Cool. LOL. Mhm. Okay. Wait. Leute, ich bin hier? Okay, cool. Aber wie komme ich jetzt zu der Wohnung, ist die Frage. Lädt. Warte. Ich bin gerade ein bisschen unsicher. Also wenn ich jetzt hier links laufe. Nee, andere Richtung. So hier links. Nee, auch nicht. Oder hier links? Nee, auch nicht. Hä? Ich bin verwirrt. Nee, hier links, okay. Irgendwo hier. Da kommt man auch nicht hin, ne? Nee. Durchsuche den Raum, aber welchen Raum denn? Ich komme da gar nicht rein. Ist ja nochmal vorne rum und dann halt von oben dann nochmal dahin teleportieren. Wie scheint. Wir haben hier schon alles ausgeräumt. So. Das ist der einzige. Kommen nach rechts und links. Wir können nur dahin. Zweitens teleportieren geht auch nicht. Es ist unten. Aber wie kommen wir nach unten? Die Tür schließt nicht auf. Oh, warte mal, hier.
Blood. I should follow the trail.
Okay. Jetzt ist das Blut auf jeden Fall sichtbar. Okay, interessant.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I intend to do so very soon, thank you. But for the moment, I'd like to shed light on the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I do love the British sense of humor.
And who exactly are you?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond de Marquis de Bois-Colombes, at your service, my dear cousin.
You're French, but your English is quite good.
I was born in France, sir, but I consider myself a traveler of this world. So many countries, so many tantalizing tastes.
Dear cousin, are we related?
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all Econs as family, don't you?
Kann man sagen.
What are you doing here?
I recently decided to visit London. I've always dreamed of visiting a city on the verge of collapse. Such a delicate, yet intense spectacle.
You take pleasure from others' misery.
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day I was reborn, sir. And probably before.
What do you plan to do here?
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy the show. Have fun. Believe me, I won't be the only foreign immortal who bought a ticket to the fair.
I followed the trail of blood from her room to here.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last redingote.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
The body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
Thanks.
I believe you, sir. Emily's diary confirms your statement.
Oh, Emily was her name. Quite charming. Well, mystery solved then.
Yes, I suppose so. You can go.
And so can you. Farewell, sir. May you enjoy the spectacle of this fallen city as much as I do.
So viel zu der Freundin. Arme Freundin. Tote Freundin. Und das zweite Video. Perfekt. My good sir. Ich mag den, der hat Charisma. Guten Tag, so gelacht. Naja, das wird ich. Müssen wir halt einmal rumgehen.
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good...
I have found out what happened to your friend, Emily.
I can handle the truth. There's no need to hide the bloody details.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire. She thought she'd met an honest one and made a deal with him. Unfortunately, Emily did not survive the process.
My mother told me many times about the risks of being turned. I often suspected she exaggerated the danger to avoid me being tempted.
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure?